front of Mosley. He'll try to get by that car and then move up somehow to challenge the leader. There, Mosley in the yellow with the blue wing again.
Nick Simon, he's passing there. Jim, an idea here of the speed. They're enormously fast in the turns. There's 195 roughly right there. You see Mosley going through turn 1. And about 200, 205 on the straight. So at every moment, we're looking at incredible speed, and try to get a reference to that by not just following the cars, but looking around at the landscape that surrounds them, and then gives you some idea.
Mike Mosley in his 15th 500, looking for that win. But what about the leader? Let's find out more. Just who is Teo Fabi, the Italian who has lit up Indy like a Roman candle this month? Well, he was born in Milan, Italy, a city of industry, opera, and art. For the past 20 years, Teo has lived with his family in this apartment building, dreaming in his early years of being a champion ski racer. Although he's in the process of moving now, his trophies still line the shelves of his bachelor's bedroom, some for motor racing, others for skiing. He actually skied in the 1970 World Championships at age 14, representing Brazil when they told him he was too young for the strong Italian team. This was the Teo Fabi skiing style as demonstrated in giant slalom. Skiing was his principal interest then. Automobile racing was something that interested his little brother, not Teo. This is brother Corrado, younger than Teo by 7 years. When Corrado was only 14, he got his brother interested enough in go-kart racing that they were able to win the European Karting Championship. Their mother spends a good deal of time these days worrying about her sons and their dangerous careers. Her husband's an engineer in Milan. Teo's combination of ski racing and driving is not as incongruous as it might sound. Most ski racers I've known like to drive sophisticated cars and drive them fast. It's enough to worry any mother. Teo attended this university for 5 years and studied aeronautical engineering, the principles of which should help him in the high-speed aerodynamic world of IndyCar racing. He drove cars like these in Europe, moving up through Formulas 3 and 2 until he finally got a Formula 1 ride last season. But real success has come to him in the United States. Driving for Paul Newman's team in the Can-Am Series, Teo won 4 events, set 5 lap records, and won 7 pole positions. Now, the pole at Indy on his first try. Chris Akatamaki asked him how he's taking to American food.
Well, I like steaks. Are very good in America. And well, I don't like the speed limit on the straight.
You don't like the double nickel, the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit?
Too slow.
Teo, your records show that you went for 5 years to college and have a degree in aeronautical engineering. When your racing career is all finished, how will you use that education?
I want to design aircraft, but make sure they don't fly on my aircraft.
Okay, you design an aircraft, but I shouldn't ride in it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll remember that.
Meeting Teo Fabi, who is leading the Indianapolis 500 still. There you see the other leaders behind him. We'll be back. Teo Fabi continues to lead the Indianapolis 500. Mike Mosley second, Rick Mears third, Tom Steva fourth, and Bobby Ray Hall fifth. That's the way they stand. There is Mike Mosley looking right at you. The yellow car coming towards the screen, going away from us now. That's number 18. If you look at his history in this race, it's been a series of bad breaks. He crashed twice in turn 4 in consecutive years. Now he's going very well, sat in the middle of the first row in the start, and is still second. Pit stop should be coming up pretty soon, and that is a very difficult business. Here's a contrast for you.
Gordon Johncock brings his car into the pits. Remember, 200 miles an hour at Indianapolis means 300 feet per second. So a pit stop is important. 5 men are allowed over the wall to work on the car. The man in red is changing the right front. The right rear is being changed, and in this case, the left rear also. They're also adding fuel, around 35 to 40 gallons. That, at the same time, they're doing a wing adjustment, unusual. The water they're throwing over the car is to reduce the risk of fire, getting rid of the excess alcohol as the car is pushed away in a time of 20.3 seconds. That's how it should be done. We thought you might like to see how other folks would do it. This team, they've worked the month of May here at the 500, and let's see how they would tackle the job. We've got Bill Lugnut Fleming. He's lost weight even for this demonstration. And then you've got the Rich, a man who's worked the 500 for many years, a lot of experience, but a new one in the team, Oil Can Annie, who's bringing women's lib to the 500. And then Sudden Sam, who's changed a lot of cars at the 500 also. And then the Economan, who's been in more pits than I would like to have visited. Let's see how they tackle this enormous task. Same car, and we've got the clock up on the right-hand corner. McKay having trouble getting down on his knees as Annie plugs in the overflow and jacks up the car. Bill having trouble even lifting the wheel. Oh, I'm glad I've retired from racing if this lot were working for me. 22 seconds pass. Looks like they've been rubbing heads a little bit. Let's say it's experience showing. Oh, the Economan's fast. He's done it all. How's that for service, Sudden Sam? They've made it. Okay, let's go. And they push away at a time of 44.7 seconds. Not easy, but how's that for sentiment?
We'll get him someday, too. But that gives you some idea of how difficult it could be for people at least casually interested in automobiles and race cars. Teo Fabi still leading the Indianapolis 500, and now coming into the pits. Now, he has an all-rookie pit crew except for one member. Could that be a problem for him?
Well, it could, but they practiced, and many of these men have worked before on the Can-Am crew, Jim. I doubt if it's a big problem. He comes in very carefully, which is a good sign. He's lost time coming in, but he stopped exactly at the pit and not overshot. There goes the fuel in on the right. They're changing the outside rubber. They're doing almost exactly what we did in our demo pit stop.
A bit more efficiently.
A good deal more efficiently.
Okay, they seem to do it as well as an experienced crew would here. Teo Fabi, whoops, no problem getting into gear there.
Yeah, he leaves slowly and conservatively. When you've got 700 horsepower, you have to be very careful with the clutch leaving the pit.
And now Mike Mosley, car number 18. That's the second place car in the race.
I think he may have, I don't know, Jim, he may have been out of fuel as he comes in here.
Yeah.
That's more than just conservative, but it's not going to be too costly. A few seconds at the very most for Mosley.
But Mosley may have gone just about a half a lap too far for his fuel consumption.
Yeah, well, of course, it's been all green up to this point, and some of the teams have not calculated the fuel mileage yet this month, although Mosley has been on the track virtually every day, and this team is extremely well prepared. I thought they were going to raise the car and change the wheel, but no, they're just refueling. This has been it's a very well-prepared team, Mosley, this year.
Pit stops under the green, of course, are the ones that can really cost you as the seconds tip away.
Now, they were adjusting the boost there. They may have had too much boost, Jim. That could have contributed. They're putting out too much horsepower in the early stages, using up the fuel. A good exit from the pit. The cars can go 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds, but only if everything works just right.
All right, as he goes out, Rick Mears pulled into the pit. And there's Sneva just behind him going out. Rick Mears and the ever-skilled crew of the Roger Penske team.
Well, these are the legends, and it was Mears' pit crew that won the pit crew contest yesterday, day before yesterday. So these guys are supposed to be the best in the business.
Okay, the leaders pitting under the green at Indianapolis. So Fabi has been in and out. Mosley has been in and out, slowed down by running out of fuel. And now Rick Mears has been in and out again. That means that this car is leading the race because Al Unser in car number 7 has not as yet been in.